what to expect during the 30-day masterclass. I'm going to do a quick overview. I will be able to take some questions, but today is just for you to get what it is that you're going to be learning over the next month, like get all the material. Let me just turn off my WhatsApp because it seems like people are coming in now. Yeah, this is people that are going to be joining us. So my whole philosophy is a bit different to what you will find with most business people, because I haven't actually been to university. I've never studied business. I'm a self-starter. I'm not funded by any government bodies. So you'll find that the way that I teach and what I teach is different to what you might get from like a business school. And I'm not trying to be like them. But one thing I can promise you is that whatever I'm going to be giving you is going to be actionable. It's going to be something that you can apply today. And it's what I'm applying in my business as we speak. I don't like to just teach theory. I like to teach action. I want you to be able to take what I teach you to go out there and grow your business or start a business from scratch. So some of you on this call already have a business.
Maybe even later.
Jacqueline. So Jacqueline already has a business. She runs a very cool nail salon here in Cape Town. And I know that Tato, you're starting off in wellness. Funa is still figuring out what she wants to do, and she's from Namibia. We've got Chapiso just joining us now. Chapiso, she's in the car industry. And I will allow you to introduce yourself and to speak to each other on the next class. But due to time constraint, I'm just going to go through what it is that I want to talk about and take questions from you. And then we can speak a lot more in the next class. But like I said, like my philosophy is different. My philosophy is all about providing value. I only work with people that are providing value. Everyone that I've worked with over the past couple of months has been an entrepreneur that's trying to provide something different and unique to the community. So that philosophy, I've never actually had to enforce it because it seems like people that are just out there for themselves don't really come to me. So every single person on this call has something valuable to provide to their community, has something valuable to provide to the industry. The problem is that we don't know how to get that value across to people. That's the problem. Because it's not like we're bad-minded people. We are good-hearted people. We don't want to be like the corporate companies. That's not who we want to be like. But the issue is that there's a disconnect between what our intentions are and what we're trying to do and what the audience perceives us as. And you know what it's like. Black people don't trust each other. Black people undervalue each other. I don't think that's 100% true. I think that Black people don't know how to market to each other. We don't know how to use the internet to advertise to each other. That's the problem. And that's what I'm trying to break. I think every single person should be able to advertise themselves and advertise their values. That shouldn't be something that's just exclusive to the corporate companies. Us as individuals, we should be able to advertise our services to each other. We should be able to know how the internet works and how we can use that to our own advantage. That's what this masterclass is all about. So by the time you finish the masterclass, you will be able to advertise yourself and advertise any product that you want to advertise online. You'll be able to do that. So if you come up with an idea, you should be able to put that idea on the market within a week's time. It's quite easy to do on the internet once you understand the knowledge behind it. Okay, so yeah, let's get going. 30-day class overview. So I'm quickly going to go through a few slides. Okay, people are coming on now. I'm not too sure who this is, but yeah, anyways, they're there. So I'm quickly going to go through the slides and then I'll be taking questions. So 30-day masterclass overview, converting Facebook and Instagram visitors into customers. Straight up, that's what we're doing. We're converting people from Facebook and Instagram, strangers that have never seen your brand, that don't know who you are, into customers. Some of us here know how to sell. Like Jacqueline, I know that you've got a business, you already know how to sell. Tato, you've been telling me that you've already been getting clients to Piso. You know how to sell. You know how to create a product and sell to the people that you know and to your community. But what I'm going to teach you is how to take someone that's never heard of you on the internet and create that trust and that bond for that person to then give you your money that you deserve and give you that respect and that value that you deserve. That's a whole different type of skill, because you're not able to be face-to-face with that person. You're not able to say, hey, here are my premises. If anything comes wrong, you can come here. So there's a lot of trust building that needs to be done. That person probably never really wanted to click on your ad. They just came across it and now they're on your Facebook page. But, you know, like, it's very abrupt. Online marketing, you're stopping someone in their track. They're scrolling through their feed, they see your advert, and then they click on you. But how many times do you go on people's profile? You know, you do it all the time. So it's a different type of marketing. It's not like approaching someone on the street. It's like you've got like 3 seconds to grab that person's attention on your advert for them to go onto your profile. And then when they're on your profile, you've only got a few seconds to then convince that person to go onto your website or to message you. So the times are so small. There's so much you have to do within a short period of time if you want to convert Facebook and Instagram business into customers. Okay, so I hope you understand that. So here's the timeline. You've probably seen this in the brochure that I sent you. Week 1, we're going to be doing our market research. We're going to be going through ideas. If you already have a business, I'm going to scrutinize your business. I'm going to scrutinize the products that you're offering. Because if you're going to go online, you can't just be offering the same products that you're offering offline because there's a lot more competition. You have to think of how you can make your product offering or service offering more unique to the market. Week 2, we're going to go into branding. I really recommend personal branding. I've done a lot of seminars on that recently. We're going to go into that. We're going to go into the psychology. Social media is week 3. All the tricks that I've used to grow my social media and to make money from my social media. Week 4 is advertising. The nice part, how do you advertise? How do you get customers? And week 5, we're going to perfect your sales funnel. So find your uniqueness and use it to fill a gap in the market. So I'm just going to go through each week and explain what it is that I'm actually going to be teaching in that week. So in week 1, I'm going to be talking about your uniqueness. Like, let me just show you this graph. What actually makes you unique? So I can ask you this question now, and I'm pretty sure that not all of you will be able to answer that question right away. It's a question that society doesn't allow us to ask ourselves. Society expects us to fit into certain boxes. It's like there's a box here called doctor. There's a box here called lawyer. There's a box here called cleaner. There's another box. So society just expects us to fit into the boxes. But the reality is that we're all so different. Like, we all have our own blend of talents and skills and cultures and backgrounds and the way we grew up. We're all so different, but we are not allowed to create our own job role. So what we're doing actually is we're creating our own job. We are creating a role that doesn't exist because you have a unique mixture of knowledge and experience and skills. There's no way that what you're going to be providing is going to be the same as someone else. Even if you're in the same field, you're going to have your own little flavor of doing it. So we are creating our own job roles. So in the first week, we're going to delve into that. We're going to delve into finding your uniqueness and finding out what actually makes you you. And then once we understand that, once we understand the uniqueness part, we go into how do we use that uniqueness to fill a gap in the marketplace? Because we've got to make money from that, right? We've got to monetize our uniqueness. So then we go into monetizing that uniqueness that you have and finding a gap in the market where that fits in. I believe everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a reason for being. I really believe that. And I haven't been proven wrong so far, but it's just about finding that reason. Why is it that you've had all these experiences? Why is it that you've learned all of these things in all these different jobs that you've had? There's a reason for it. And we're going to go into that a bit more in week 1. And it's not just like the spiritual internal stuff. I also do a lot of theory on this, a lot of theory on market research. One of the models that I like using is the build, measure, learn model. So building something at a very cheap and minimal level, putting it out there, seeing how customers react to it, and then learning from it. So as you can see on here, you build your product or service, you measure how customers respond, and then you learn, and then you keep doing that until you get to the perfect product. This is something a lot of online companies are using, and there's a theory behind this, and I'm going to teach you the theory. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this in a way that makes sense and how to scale your business. But yeah, there's also a more spiritual side to it as well, where you have to go inside and be quiet and be silent and meditate. And there's also that side, but we're going to do both. We're going to do the theory side. We're going to do the market research. I'm going to show you where you can get the stats. And we're also going to do the deeper, like, okay, why am I here? What is my purpose? Because I think that both of them are equally as important. All right, let me just remove the annotations. Right? Why this is not working? Okay, cool. Brand yourself to maximum effect. So that's week 2. And I've been speaking about personal branding a lot, so you're probably tired of me speaking about it, but we will breathe live into your personal brand. And even if you're not looking to become a personal brand, you yourself need to have an image around you, because people are going to want to know who's behind the business anyway. So even if you're not intentionally becoming a personal brand, people are going to want to know who you are. And if you don't have a profile that represents you accurately, then you're not doing yourself a favor. So we will go into your personal branding and how to push your uniqueness out there, how to convert your uniqueness into a creative art. What kind of pictures you can take to express your being. So we're going to go into that in week 2. That's really important because right now it's all about personal brands, Like personal brands are absolutely killing it. They're the ones that are coming through and becoming the next millionaires and the next billionaires. It's the influencers, it's the personal brands. Everyone can be a personal brand. You don't need to have 10,000 followers to be a personal brand. You just need to be yourself. And being yourself is an art form. Being yourself doesn't come naturally nowadays. Society doesn't teach us to be ourselves, We all know that society doesn't teach us to be ourselves. So we have to make a conscious effort to be ourselves. We have to be aware of the fact that we are being ourselves online. And that's what I'm going to be going through a lot in week 2. But again, there's also a lot of theory to that as well. So I will be going through the theory, understanding the power of design. Design is very deep. Color has an effect on our subconscious. A lot of the advertising that we're seeing has an effect on our subconscious. We're not aware of what it does to us. And how can we use this power of design to unconsciously speak to our customers? Remember how I said that when you're advertising online and when you're pushing your brand, you only have a few seconds to convince someone that you're worth spending time with, right? You don't have that much time to convince someone. So if you don't have enough time to convince someone, how do you get through to them? You get through to them with design, because design goes straight to your unconscious. When you look at a certain color, it makes you feel some type of way. You don't know why it does that. It's your unconscious that translating that color into a feeling. I hope this is making sense. I will be going into this a bit more in the class. So essentially what I'm going to be teaching you is how to unconsciously speak to your audience and get your message across to them. That's what we're going to be doing in branding. Very, very deep stuff, but it's not that complicated. And this is what corporates are using, and we should be using it too. So week 3, understand how to use social media for your business. Establish your brand guidelines. So every brand should have guidelines. So you should have rules on how you represent yourself on each platform. So your guidelines can be like the colors that you're going to be using, how you utilize your logos, what shapes you're going to be using, and even things like your font, like what fonts are you going to be using, what kind of pictures do you want to take. So we're going to establish those brand guidelines for your social media, because we don't want our social media to look all over the place. We want it to have some uniformity to it. We want your YouTube to look like your Instagram. We want people to be able to recognize your brand, to recognize your logo. That's where a brand guideline is really important, and we're going to go into that in week 3. I know some of you already have businesses, but a lot of us don't know about brand guidelines, but all the big businesses do. All the big corporate businesses have brand guidelines. They have rules on which words they should be using in their adverts, like keywords, tone of voice. All of these things are very, very important, and it just helps create that uniformity online. Like I said, you don't have a lot of time to convince someone to do business with you. So if you're messing up on simple things like being uniform and making sure that your brand is accurate at all times, you're missing the point. You're missing customers. So we're going to go into that in week 3. Another thing we're going to do is making sure we're ahead of the crowd. And I just put some of the industries that are popping right now: workouts at homes, home offices, street vendors are popping, everyone's going online, being ahead of the crowd. Those that are benefiting now were those that were ahead of the crowd. I was ahead of the crowd. You can say I'm benefiting now. And I want you to also learn how to constantly be ahead of everyone else. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So being ahead of the crowd is really important. It's something that I reiterate on during the classes. I'm also going to be teaching you about Facebook and what the hidden business model is behind Facebook. A lot of us have a misconception. We think that Facebook is to be social, right? It's for social media. It's actually wrong. Facebook is built for advertising. Facebook is an advertising platform. That might not make sense to you now, but I'm going to explain to you why I'm saying that and how you should be utilizing Facebook. Facebook isn't a platform where you try and get likes. It's not that kind of platform. is Facebook isn't there for the views and the likes. Yeah, I always say this, and in our community, it's like if you're famous, you have money. No, that's not how it works. Just because you're getting likes on Facebook doesn't mean you're making money. And just because someone isn't getting likes on Facebook doesn't mean that they're not making money. But we kind of got that wrong. And I want to explain how social media really works at its core. So we're going to go into the business model behind Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, but those apps are all connected. And then when you start approaching social media from that perspective, your mind will be completely different because you understand how they work. So you understand how to work around it. And you won't be so caught up on the likes and the views and no one is liking my stuff and my business is going. Nah, you're not going to be in that space anymore once you understand that. Position yourself as a true leader. This is really important. I think every single person here is a leader. The fact that you want to create a business it means that you're a leader already. And I'm going to show you how to position yourself as that leader on social media. Because you are a leader and you should be positioning yourself as that. You are not a follower. You should have people following you. As a business, you're an innovator. You are coming up with solutions that the community needs. So you are a leader and you should be positioning yourself on social media as that person that's bringing innovation to an industry. Taking a stance, going viral. This is something that I really believe in. Taking a stance is important and not just following trends. So I'm going to show you why you should be taking a stance and why you should not just go with the flow and do what everyone else is doing. And I'm going to be giving you examples of companies that have done that successfully. For example, how Nike did it with the Colin Kaepernick and the Black Lives Matter movement. It was a very successful campaign for them. And we should also be taking a stance on the things we believe in. Whatever it is you believe in, you should be taking a stance on it. Don't just be the person that rides a trend. Oh, because everyone is posting about Black Lives Matter, I do it. So we are gonna not do that. We are gonna go against what society is saying, and that's where you make money. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna quickly clear that. Sorry. You make money by being a revolutionary and by being someone that people can follow. So if you come across as someone that's already doing what everyone else is doing out there, why would you get followers? Why would people want to buy from you? You make money by saying, no, I'm gonna do things this way. I'm not gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way. If you wanna come with me, follow me. That's how you get followers. That's how you get real clients, real customers, because they believe in what you believe in. So I think we should all take a stance, and we're gonna be going into that a lot more. How can you take a stance on social media without offending anyone? Because we don't want to offend people on social media, but we do want to revolutionize something. We're all here to make a change. And like I said, you're all innovators, you're all entrepreneurs. You're not going to come into your industry and do what everyone else is doing. So it's time to take a stance, and we're going to be going through that a lot more as well in the course. So Jacqueline just says, I agree. I've definitely noticed how Facebook has evolved and it's more business oriented than ever. So you've already seen it. And I've got so many stats on how Facebook is going more towards advertising and going away from the social aspect. So Facebook would come to you and say, we're all about being social. We're about connecting the world. But the entire business model isn't about connecting the world. You post something on Facebook now, how many people on Facebook see your post? So Facebook isn't actually about what it says it is about. And here we are as businesses just posting pictures and posting images and trying to get likes when you're putting all this effort behind your content, but you're not making money from it though. So how can we use social media in such a way that every time we do something on there, it brings us money back? You are content creators. That's what you're doing. You are creating content to educate the masses. So every time you create content to educate the masses, you should get some return back in form of clients, in form of products that are selling out there. You should be getting some return back. And that's what we're going to be going into. Like, how do you create that business model where every time you post something, you post a video or you post something impactful and educational, it turns into clients? That's how it should be. And that's what it is like for me. When I post something, people message me, people want to be part of the masterclass, people want to find out what I do. So that's what we're going to be going through in the masterclass. So this is really, really important stuff. We're not going to be posting for likes anymore. We're going to be posting for money. Okay, all right. Advertise like a corporate company. So in week 4, we go into advertising. Talk to your audience. And I always use this campaign as an example. This is the Dove campaign. Who knows about this campaign? Please put it in the chat. Does anyone know about this campaign? It was back in 2011, 2012, really popular campaign. Back then, all the models were skinny, white, and had blue eyes. And Dove came through and said that everyone should be a model, everyone's beautiful. Has anyone seen this campaign before? Have you came across this campaign in Kenya or in South Africa or Namibia? This was a very popular campaign and it did really well for Dove. No? No one's come across this campaign? No? No one knows about the Dove campaign? Wow, so I'm the only one? And there's a lot of females here as well. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Okay, cool. So yeah, this will be a campaign that we're going to study. It'll be a case study for us. So I'm actually going to go through this in a lot more detail. Oh, okay. Now people are saying that they have. I think Tato has. Oh, Lucille hasn't. Jacqueline hasn't. So you'll like this. This is a really dope case study on how Dove went against societal norms and decided to use normal. Well, not normal. I wouldn't say normal because all these women are beautiful, but they went against beauty standards and used women in their videos. I don't know how to say it properly. But yeah, they just went against society's beauty standards at the time where everyone was looking for white models. And even in Africa, they was promoting them. And they just understood that their audience includes everyone. So we need to have content that includes everyone in our audiences. And that did really, really well for them. And then after Dove, everyone else started including Black and colored and Asian in their advertising because they realized that we need to be speaking to everyone. This is Dove. Dove is a well, they do like lotions. You should know Dove. They're very popular. Oh, sorry, I'll send that to Tato. Let me send it to everyone. Sorry, Tato. Dove. They're very popular. They do perfume as well. They're what's the right word? Skincare, maybe you could say a skincare brand. But we're going to talk about how we can create content that speaks directly to our audience, because a lot of these Western companies aren't even speaking to us, and they're trying to use creatives, like they use South African creatives or Kenyan creatives or Namibian creatives in order to speak to us. But they don't know our language, but they use us to speak to us. They use our influencers to sell their products. So we're going to learn how to speak to Black people and then sell our own products. Because we don't know. Like I'm telling you, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that don't even know how to communicate with their own people. They only know how to communicate in the Western way. They don't know how to communicate properly. So we're going to be talking about it a lot more. Then we're going to talk about how to create a powerful sales pitch. Let me see, a lot of things are happening in the chat. So I do like to be part of the chat. I don't want to be left out. I don't like to be left out of the chat. But yeah. Yeah, so Dove does skincare products. Yeah, so you know. Okay, yeah, so that's a Dove campaign, and that'll be one of the case studies that we use. I thought you guys had something interesting going on in the chat, but there's nothing interesting. Okay, so I was talking about power words and how to create sales pitches. We're gonna all create our own sales pitch for our advert. My adverts are in the top 35%. I said it to you guys before. They're in the top 35% of Facebook and Instagram all the time. So I know how to make great adverts, and I'm going to teach you how to make great adverts, how to use certain words to trigger emotions within your audience, how to create great headlines. We're going to be doing a lot of that in week 4. So like I said, I'm doing pretty well when it comes to advertising on Facebook. If you've watched my Facebook ads demo, you will see my actual results. So I'll actually log into my account and show you guys my ads account. So I'm not lying, I'm not making this up. I am in the top 35% of advertisers in many countries now. And you can also be the same. Everyone that goes through my masterclass should be able to advertise effectively. And then at the end, we're going to be thinking more long-term. Like the testing never stops. Like even after you finish the course, you will always be testing. And I'm going to show you how you should be testing your sales funnel, how you should be testing your products, because there's no way you're going to perfect your business in 1 month. Eh? There's no way. You could be monetizing your business within a month, but you're not going to perfect your business within a month. That doesn't work. It doesn't happen like that. It takes months to perfect your business. So even after the masterclass is done, you're still going to be testing, but I'm going to be showing you how you can do that. I also still do the masterclasses. So I'm going to be doing, not masterclasses, sorry, I'm going to be doing webinars every single Thursday that you can attend. And every single Thursday, I do something different. So every single Thursday, like you should all be coming on Thursdays, because every single Thursdays, I do a different webinar because I learned something new, whether it's the self-development thing, whether it's in advertising, whether it's a social media hack, whether it's something that I've noticed, like, you know, the personal branding thing. I've noticed a lot of people aren't doing personal branding, so I've been talking a lot about that. Like whatever it is that comes across, I do put it out. So every single Thursday, even after the masterclass is done, I invite every single one of you to be part of it. And yeah, I'm happy to see you all here, by the way. I'm happy to see that you did come to the induction. And yeah, I hope that we can carry on working together over the next month and even afterwards. I'm the kind of person that I'm the kind of person that I stick around. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, once you're in my life, I'm like, I don't disappear. So I'll always be like, hey, like, what's going on with the business? Like, what's happening? So yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot about me, from me. You're going to be hearing a lot from me. And yeah, you can say I'm an accountability coach, because I'm always going to be like, hey, like, did you do that? Did you do that thing with your social media? Did you release that product? Yes, because I'm just that kind of person. Jacqueline says, what kind of books do you read or recommend? At the moment, I'm reading a book called Power versus Force. It's a really great book that talks about how to build up your vibration, how to build up your frequency in order to affect your surroundings. So it's things like what you eat and what music you listen to, and whether you're meditating or not, whether you're doing things like yoga. So I'm into a lot of self-development, but I also read like your adventure books. I've also read Shantaram. I don't know if you're into books, you probably would have heard of Shantaram. So that's a really great book. And I'm now looking for African books. So Jacqueline, if you're into reading books, please recommend a South African book for me, because I've been looking for South African books. And yeah, I want to stop reading or constantly reading Western stuff. Like I want to delve into Eastern and African, and etc. etc. So yeah, that's really it. Like, I wanted to keep today really short. I have recorded it, so I can send it to you in a video if you just want to go through it again. I'll be sending you guys the schedule for the masterclass. So the one I sent you is actually it's Wednesdays and Sundays. So okay, let me put it this way. So we're gonna have our live classes where you can ask me questions. So the live classes are just like a recap where you can talk to me and ask me questions, and you're gonna get videos. The videos you're gonna get every 2 days. So that's the videos, and then the live classes, they'll be twice a week. So I'll just have like Wednesdays and Sundays where you can come and ask questions. So I'm gonna give you your exact schedule like tomorrow. I'm gonna give you your schedule. Chepiso said, what does your typical day look like? Oh my God, I'm gonna be honest with you. My typical day, oh shit, I can't lie. Sorry about the language, I can't lie about this. I wake up, I have tea. I like to have tea when I wake up, or something light. And then honestly, I get to work. I literally wake up, drink tea, and get to work, because at the moment, business is booming. So I get to work. Then when we get to about afternoon, that's when I go for a walk. So where I live, there's mountains, there's the sea, there's the lake. I'm really lucky to live in nature. So it's very natural where I live. There's trees everywhere. So around afternoon, when things quiet down and everyone's at work, that's when I go for walks. In between, I have consultations. So I have consultations like just every hour, there's someone I need to call. So sometimes I'll be in the park doing a consultation in the park. Then I get home and I do one at home. Then I'm in an Uber and I do one in the Uber. So I'm doing my consultations. So I might have spoken to some of you guys when I was on the move. So I do a lot of consultations in a day. Try and spend time with my partner, as much time as I can. And yeah, I fit in some yoga or exercise somewhere in there. Whether it's in the evening or in the morning, I try to fit in some type of exercising in there so that I can keep myself sane. And then that's it. And then it's just a typical, watch a movie or watch a YouTube video. I'm constantly watching motivational videos nowadays. They do really work. Like, you'd think that, motivational videos don't work, but I watch a lot of motivational videos, and they do really help me get through some tough times. Share some of your failures and what you've learned. My main failures has probably been hiring people. I've hired a lot of the wrong people in my life, and I've burned some bridges, unfortunately, and if I could take that back, I wouldn't have done it. Another failure that I've had was doing too many things at the same time. And I see a lot of people trying to do one thing and the other and the other. We spoke about this, Jacqueline, how I had to leave my nail. I was going to create a nail app, and I had to leave that behind to focus on this. But when I was younger, I was doing like one thing, then the other, then the other, then the other, and none of them would get to the level that I wanted to get at. So I learned to focus, and I learned to be patient. Don't just give up after the first failure, the second failure, the third failure. You really need to give something a year before you know that it's not going to work for you. A year or 2 years. You can't just give up after 6 months because things didn't work out for you or for 6 months. So I've learned to be more patient as well. So yeah, those are probably my main failure. People being impatient and doing too many things at the same time. Those have been my failures. And yeah, I did say that I was going to share my failures with you. I didn't. So yeah, there you go. Those are my failures. And especially in terms of business, another thing that I didn't do is lead nurturing. So this is something that I go into in week 3 is nurturing your customer database. Like, as you do business online, you're going to be collecting a lot of people on your social media. You're going to be collecting a lot of people through your WhatsApp, through your emails. A lot of people are going to come your way, but not everyone's going to buy. And the traditional businesses, what they do is, if you don't buy from us, goodbye. It's like, I get this a lot. Like today, give you an example. I walked into Arthur Ford, which is a perfume company in Cape Town. Jacqueline, you probably know this place. It's in town. It's in Golden. What's it called? Golden. What's that shopping mall called? Golden Acres or something? The shopping mall on Adderley Street. So I went in there. It's an African company. It's called Arthur Ford, and they sell perfumes. They sell African perfumes. They also sell lotions. I walk in there and I ask them if they have something for hair. The woman behind the counter, the cashier, doesn't even look at me and just says no, doesn't give me any customer service, doesn't recommend anything, doesn't even try and speak to me. So I just walk out. And you can't do that online. That's the difference between online and offline. Someone comes to you online, you can't just be rude to them or dismiss them because they're not ready to buy from you, because they could end up buying from you in a year or 2 years' time. So what you do is you nurture the lead. You make sure that you get the person's information, and then you keep sending them offers and information, especially information. You keep educating them on what it is that you're offering. Because sometimes people don't really understand what you're offering and what the value is in what you're offering. Sometimes people haven't got the money and they might have the money later. But if you're not in their lives, constantly nurturing them and emailing them and giving them the information that they need, how are you eventually going to turn that person into a customer? So I didn't really used to put that in place. But now I have a system in place where I keep in touch with every single person that comes from my business, even the ones that don't buy, because I understand that over time, that person can buy from me in 2 years. So that's a business lesson that I've had to learn, that lead nurturing is important. Treat everyone with respect and keep in touch with everyone. Have a system in place, and I will show you how to have a system in place so that you can keep in touch with every single lead that comes across your business. So yeah, I'm sorry, I should have shared my failures from the beginning. So yeah, there you go. Any other questions that you want to throw at me before we call it a day? Okay. Okay, it's very quiet. Just a quick question. So Bawi Nile Hadebe, can you just let me know what your name is? Because I want to see who's attended, but I don't have that name. So Bawi Nile Hadebe, can you just quickly put your name down and then I know who you are? So that would be great. That's if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. But apart from that, it's all good. And we're going to be speaking more on WhatsApp. And yeah, I'll see you guys this week. Yeah, I'll see you guys this week. All right. Peace out. Oh, Footy, it's you. Ah, okay, cool. I got you. No problem. All right. Peace out, everyone.